Morning from Little Creek Bee Ranch. I wanted to share with the new beekeepers how an escape board works. There's several ways of taking honey off of the hive. Escape board's pretty simple. Let me show you what we have here. This is the escape board, but you see we have some blue tape. The tape is holding on a spacer. It's an 1.5-inch spacer, and the reason we put the spacer on is this edge. Let's see, this edge right down here is really short and tight. So when the honey sits down on it, the boxes sit down here, the bees go out a one-way hole. I'll show you the bottom in a second. But it's so tight and there's just not a lot of room. The bees are slower to get to the hole because they can smell the queen pheromone coming up here. So we added this spacer, and it allows enough room for the mass of bees to run to a central location, because the sisters will sit around the rim and fan upwards, and they'll blow that queen pheromone upwards, and it's just the Nosinoff gland, come home smell, and they're pointing to a direction, come here, the queen's down here. So on the back side of this, I'll show you how this works. This is an older one. We've got 8 of these. On the back side of this, there's a triangle, and the bees go out and they can't figure out how to get back in. They'll go around and around until they go down the house. So they may, it's like a little maze, and they'll go out the ends. They'll go out those ends. Doesn't hurt them. It's just taking advantage of their tendencies to turn. They like to turn, and they'll go down until they can get out. They want to get out. So there's a triangle on the bottom with a one-way screen, and then we've taped on a spacer so we have more room for the honey box at the bottom. And if I was going to harvest a honey box, I would set the box that I want to harvest to the side. Then I would set a new box down, giving them room to go into, new box, and then the escape board. And then the one I want to harvest I would put on top of the skateboard. And even if you want to add a little bit of kick to it, what I do is I will put that box up on top of the escape board. Let me hold on, I got to grab a tool. And then I will take a screen. It'll be a screen like this, spacer screen. It will go down on top. This is the box that I want to harvest. It will be put up here, and then I will lay in a towel and spray the towel with Bee Quick, which pushes the bees down. So I really kind of push them on down out of the super. I just lay the towel down there, spray it, then turn the towel over so the oil's down. You don't really spray directly on the frames. You don't want to do that. And so that screen holds the towel, just an old tea towel, something, and the lid, solid lid, goes over there. And in 24 hours, the bees will be down the hole and out. And I'm ready to go back out today and pull 8 of these in. Now, when I pull them in, there's something else that I do, is an inspection. So when I have a honey box up here, and we've got all this room now, when I open up and take the box off, I'll watch for beetles, small hive beetles, and it will tell me, now I don't always have them, but it will tell me how the colony's loaded for beetles. I get kind of an indication. If there's no beetles that I see there, great, because typically the beetles will be high in the colony, because the bees are harassing them down low, and they don't like to be harassed, so the beetles will be high. So we're taking the top box off to harvest it. Probably the beetles are up there. When I open up, if I have beetles, I'll see them dashing and darting around, and I can go ahead and smash them if I have beetles, and I'll make a note of that. Hey, this colony's got beetles, and I can come back and treat them with some essential oils and take care of them, not a problem. But I'm just not about taking honey and running. We want to take the honey, but pay attention to, are there any beetles running around? And yesterday, in all the work we did, Ryan out of Bartlesville came down and helped. We worked hard, did a great job. I was real impressed with you, buddy. You did a great job. 19 colonies, put on 6 pollen traps, harvested a whole bunch of honey. 17 boxes. I've got 8 boxes to pull in, but eight of them out there are on these skateboards with this spacer that's on there. Okay. Now the flip side of the skateboard system is it brings me back out to the apiary twice. So you got to have the time to do that. A lot of times these boxes, how we did these boxes was we pulled off the stack and put a new box in, and then put the honey we wanted to harvest up there, and then laid a fume board or a towel on top and sprayed the towel or fume board and pushed the bees down out of the box. We just didn't have enough fume boards and almost to run out of Be Quick oil. So we had to revert to some escape boards, but that's okay. Kind of break up the work. That's an escape board. Oops, excuse me. The spacer allows us room so the bees can quickly access the exit. That's what we want, quickly clear. We want the bees to quickly clear. A lot of times on the bottom of the frames you'll have wax, and it blocks their path to the hole. And they got to go up and around, and it's a little confusing to them. So we add more space so they can go straight down into the hole. We peeked in on a couple of these after a couple of hours, raised them up, and the girls were all lined up around here with their heads down, their butts up, fanning and telling their sisters, come here, come here. So when they get a clear working area, boy, they can just clear that box, no problem, no problem. So there's an escape board. That's how we do our escape boards, and we'll be pulling in 8 more boxes, and we'll do a follow-up video, and we're just teaching you how we bring in our honey. Have an awesome day.